Have you ever seen a talking squirrel conduct an orchestra of buzzing bumblebees? Or tasted a raindrop that sparkled like candy and bounced on your tongue? Well, buckle up, little explorers, because we're about to venture into the heart of the Whispering Woods, a place where the strangest things are as common as buzzing cicadas on a summer day. Our story begins with Pip, a curious young chipmunk with a nose for adventure, and a belly that grumbled like a tiny drum solo whenever it was empty. One sunny morning, Pip decided to explore a part of the forest he'd never been to before. The trees whispered secrets in the breeze, their leaves shimmering like emeralds in the sunlight. As Pip scurried along a moss-covered path, a peculiar sound reached his ears, a rhythmic tapping that seemed to be coming from deep within the woods. Intrigued, Pip followed the sound, his tiny heart thumping like a hummingbird's wings. He pushed through a curtain of hanging vines and stumbled upon a sight that made his eyes widen as round as sunflowers. In a sun-dappled clearing stood a magnificent oak tree, its branches forming a natural stage. On a podium made of a giant, flat mushroom stood a dapper-looking duck, wearing a tiny conductor's hat and wielding a baton carved from a blade of grass. This, my friends, was Duck Batuta, the most unusual conductor in the entire forest. Around him, a motley crew of musicians had gathered. Fireflies blinked in unison, creating a dazzling light show. A family of crickets chirped a lively melody. A colony of ants marched in perfect rhythm, their tiny legs tapping out a percussion beat. Even a grumpy toad, perched on a nearby rock, puffed out his throat and croaked a surprisingly deep bass line. Pip, mesmerized, couldn't help but tap his tiny foot to the music. The melody was unlike anything he'd ever heard, a whimsical mix of buzzing, chirping, tapping, and croaking that filled the clearing with pure magic. Glide-deep bass line. As the music reached a crescendo, Duck Batuta raised his baton, and with a flourish, the final note hung in the air like a sparkling bubble. A hush fell over the clearing, then erupted into a symphony of happy chirps, clicks, and croaks. The fireflies blinked brightly, and the ants did a celebratory jig. Even the grumpy toad, who secretly quite enjoyed the music, gave a small, approving croak. Duck Batuta, spotting Pip, hopped down from his mushroom podium. "Well, hello there, little one," he quacked in a surprisingly cultured voice. "Never seen a chipmunk at one of my concerts before." Pip, still wide-eyed, stammered, "It's amazing. How do you conduct such a diverse orchestra?" Duck Batuta chuckled, a sound like wind chimes tinkling in the breeze. "Every creature has music within them," he explained. "It's just a matter of helping them find their rhythm." Suddenly, Pip's stomach rumbled loudly, a drum solo interrupting Duck Batuta's explanation. The duck conductor smiled. "Ah, the music of an empty tummy. Come along, little one. I know just the place for a delicious snack." Duck Batuta led Pip to a hidden grove where plump, juicy berries hung from the branches like tiny, edible jewels. As Pip munched on the sweet treats, the forest musicians gathered around, offering him a serenade of chirps, clicks, and croaks in appreciation for his company. From that day on, Pip became a regular visitor to Duck Batuta's concerts. He learned that the magical forest wasn't just about towering trees and babbling brooks, but about the music that filled every corner, waiting to be discovered by those with curious hearts and open ears. And whenever Pip felt a rumbly in his tummy, he knew Duck Batuta would always have a delicious melody and a tasty snack waiting for him.